Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I prepared it with a lot of love and hope that the viewers will find something for themselves that will help them on the path to healing from a chronic health condition. If you have any questions, please call me. My phone number is 778-779-1203 in Pacific Canada. And you can join our Facebook group where I post a lot of information about chronic diseases and healing of chronic conditions. I'm live every Wednesday at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, where you can also participate asking questions. If you would like to call me and have some private conversation with you, I would love to hear from you. Thank you and have a good time watching the video. Experience chronic pain, and I would like to suggest some solutions in this short video course. Solutions in terms of nutrition, how to organize our life, happiness, and we'll talk about stress there. And what does it mean working in and working out, one versus the other. Here is our 3 paragraphs from my memoir, Walking Next to Cancer. And I'm not going to read it for you. If you would like to read it, you can pause this video and do, but I would like to comment on it. The World Health Organization offers one type of definition of health, which is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. And our doctors behave quite differently, which I would like to discuss right here. So for my surprise, when I read this definition of health, I can tell you that I never encountered anyone that meets that criteria. And why? Because social well-being is very problematic. Social well-being means your social capital or your social interactions with people to be just perfect, but it's not. From this point of view, I think that this definition of health is not very precise, and I could argue with it. But if you look around carefully, you will see clearly that we have all at least one or more defects that disqualify us from the description above. And I wanted to point especially your attention of the second part of the 3rd paragraph, where I'm explaining the domino effect, what it happens when a social interaction goes wrong. The problem is that when we get emotionally charged with negative or positive emotion, our hormonal balance changes, which changes our biochemistry. This is a beginning of a myriad of processes, and like a domino effect, changes the entire world inside of us. So here is the example where, let's say you had a stressful situation with a colleague or friend, and this stress creates a stomachache. Why? Because your chemistry in the stomachache changes, because you have what is called neuropeptides that your organs can detect emotion, negative emotion, and they can behave according to that emotion. They start secreting those hormones, enzymes, and other chemicals inside of your body. That's why you start having a stomachache. And then the stomachache takes away your appetite. Or for some people, they have excessive appetite. I'm one of those. The lack of nutrition makes them feel listless and weak, and this leads to sluggishness and fatigue and even headache. So how productive one can be when we feel sluggish, fatigue, and we have a headache. And then that hinders our sleep. And in other videos, and here I will mention again, sleep is crucial. If you want to get rid of a chronic condition, of pain, of any kind of stress, sleep is crucial, because while you're sleeping, your body is not sleeping. Your body is recovering. It's replenishing what has been lost during the day. It kills and removes cells that are unfit, and it recovers you. It recovers you psychologically. In the meantime, let me tell you that what is called a circadian rhythm, we all have that. From 10 to 2 o'clock, according to your circadian rhythm, which is in synchronization with the sun and the moon, your body recovers physically. From 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, your body recovers psychologically. And yet, this is to be explained this way for clarity, but also there are peaks and valleys of your recovery and your just sleep during the night. Some people say, oh, REM sleep is 90 minutes or stuff like that. No, there are cycles. And in this cycle, you have, let's say, 10 minutes of REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, where we go to a very deep state of sleep where the body really recovers. And we have a lighter sleep for the rest of the cycle, which is usually 90 minutes in total. And then another cycle like that comes and goes throughout the night. But they have different things they do when they recover, different tasks. So that's why we say from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, the body mostly recovers you psychologically. But first, from 10 to 2, it does your physical recovery. And this is very important to know, because deprivation from sleep can really manifest not only in profound energy loss, but perhaps even trigger depressive episodes, which take on a life of their own. And later on, I will elaborate a little bit more on that as well. In this slide, I would like to suggest you the following imbalances of 6 variables, which we as wellness therapists first check. Different schools have their different way of checking those variables and name them. In my school, it was like that. We start with the thoughts. Thoughts are crucial because thoughts lead to emotions. And those emotions are changing the chemistry or the biochemistry of your body. And then it's changing different processes that are happening into your body. And then the organs and tissues behave according to those changes. That's why we work with thoughts. Breathing, very important. Every person I met as my client, they all say, oh, I'm breathing. Of course, you're breathing if you're surviving, yes. But is your posture optimal? So you take the optimal amount of oxygen, so your brain uses that optimum amount of oxygen, and to be able to control your nervous system, your autonomic system, to be able to control the entire body. This is the question. Also, some people are mouth breathers. This is a really very wrong thing to do, because if you open and pull the air through the mouth, very little of this air can go through your nose into the lungs, and mostly it will go into your stomach. To do what? Nothing. We don't need air in the stomach. Then it's the nutrition. Maybe for your surprise, I'm not a fan of a diet. I'm a fan of tailored nutrition for the personal needs of a person. Because we're different. Some people are ectomorph, tall and slim. Others are endomorph, more shorter and more thick as a composition. Others are mesomorph, which is more in the middle, and some people are a combination of two types. Also, some people live up in the northern hemisphere, where usually people need more meat. They battle with the winter, which is way more severe comparing to what is happening in the southern hemisphere. There people eat more fruits and vegetables. Also, some tribes, some societies have habits that has been developed for a very, very long time, thousands and millions of years, and they develop the digestive system that fits those habits and can assimilate those foods. Like, for instance, I absolutely cannot eat bugs and etc. because I don't have those enzymes that can kill the neurotoxins coming from the bugs, because my digestive system comes from a different geographical latitude, altitude, and it is not developed to battle that. Then another thing is the hydration. The hydration is extremely important. Imagine that if they say that we are 70 or 80% water, that it only makes sense that we have to drink that amount of water as a part of our daily intake of food and water. As a matter of fact, at the age of 50 and plus, we are not 70% of water. We are not even 60. They say that we are about 50% of water. And I understand when people don't want to drink the amount I prescribe of water. So that's why very often we discuss other ways to hydrate the body. Like types of food, for example, is one of them. The body produces water, but you pay the price for it. What I mean by that is, instead of doing something else very important to function, your body will have to extract water from your colon so it can use water in the processes, because every process in our body, like cell combustion, autophagy, when the cells die and has to be cleaned and cleared out and scraped, those processes need water. In order for your blood to go through your veins, your arteries, you need water. You need a certain consistency of the blood so it can move smoothly through the veins and the arteries. Exercise, because we are very sedentary, we have to make the time to move. If you're telling me that every day you go for a walk up in the mountain or by the water, that you move a lot during the day, I would not push for exercise. Mind you, I would like to see always a little bit of weight training so we can build up some muscle, because that muscle is used by your immune system in days when you feel down with a cold or a disease tries to come up. Your muscles take resources from there to work against the pathogens. Also, movements are extremely important in order for our cerebrospinal fluid to move from the pelvic floor up to the brain, where it does a lot of cleaning of your brain and other organs. And this cerebrospinal fluid only can move up if we move. It goes up and down twice in 24 hours. With meditation, we try to bring it another time, which vitalizes the body in a very, very nice way. Rest and happiness. In my tools, this goes first. A person who is relaxed, happy, and doesn't feel the stress is has the best environment to heal. This is extremely important. Your social contacts, your nice sleep, which is not deranged by coffee, by telephones, TV, bright light until late, just until the time before you go to bed. So this is extremely important because this is the environment you create in order to apply the rest of the variables: nutrition, exercise, hydration, breathing, and thoughts. Because when you're happy and rested, you have the time and energy to think about the others. When you're not, people just try to go through the day. And as one of my gurus, my mentors, was saying, 80% of people are walking cadavers because they're not rested, they're unhappy, they're stressed, and you can't wake them up. You can't suggest exercise program or nutrition or hydration because they cannot focus onto the tasks to do all that. They're stressed, they live check to check, paycheck to paycheck, and this is very, very stressful. They move in a vicious circle, and it's very hard to get out of this circle. So if you wake up one person at a time, that will be a great success. And on the right side in this pie graphic, I put 17% everywhere because I would like just to show that any of those are just as important as the other ones of those variables. And the proportions below, they are working out versus working in. As important it is to work out, the same way, the same importance has the working in. As a matter of fact, when we slow down the body and we sit to meditate or to pray, for those people who prefer to pray, the body works way faster inside, because we say when we rest, we digest. And digestion, or the process of, which is anabolic process of building up tissue and recovering, it is the process of the parasympathetic system. It's the process when occurs when we sleep or when we meditate. Then the body has the time and the resources to do this recovery inside of us. So working in is extremely, extremely important. Working out with the movements you really enjoy. But first of all, a posture has to be addressed. This is crucial in order for the body to get the needed oxygen, and every organ in your body has to stay at the level where it's supposed to be, because there it can have optimum work, optimum results from the work of this organ. It can be reached by fluids to be cleaned and cleansed. It can be reached by nutrients. Imagine if the organ is suppressed, kind of folded, and nothing can reach to it because it's surrounded by fat. And this organ starts stagnating. It cannot pulse to clean itself, to produce what it has to produce, enzymes or hormones, whatever it produces. And then it starts growing those tissues. We call them scar tissues, which have inflammation. And the body cannot access them to clean and cleanse. Those cells don't die, and the body starts making a chamber over them, and they become a tumor. And those tumors, some of them are benign, but others are not. And they are on the way of the efficiency of the immune system. So yes, working in versus working out, and this is very, very important. It's just as important, each of them. Man or woman, before you approach any protocol, a health evaluation in depth is needed. I can't stress enough how important that is of the entire body. Your bodily systems have to be evaluated because they represent a living, interdependent constitution of systems which collaborate day and night. So in my evaluations, you have gastrointestinal tract evaluated, you have nervous system evaluated, endocrine system evaluated, the other systems like cardiovascular system, the skin is evaluated, all the secretions are evaluated. It's a very in-depth, comprehensive evaluation sheet. And then I spend time talking to the client and just to make sure that I understand well what they wrote for me when they answered the questions. And because the body is an integration of finely self-regulated intelligent organisms, it required an in-depth discovery of each individual system to reveal the imbalances present to start the journey of self-healing. When we have condition, chronic condition, that means we got into a state where a great disbalance occurs in our body, and we have to balance it. And how we do that? We do that with something which is called a life force. Once your body regains that life force, a miracle should be expected. The life force is the one that heals the body. It controls the nutrients, directs them towards the cells, and etc. And I must tell you that our bodies are extremely intelligent constitutions because they are systems of systems in a big constitution of systems, and this life force controls everything. The life force is that power in you which will deliver all the potent ingredients from your blood plasma to your cells to nourish. And something I would like to mention here from my work with especially people who have cancer, I've seen that sometimes they can take the most amazing pills, compounds, the most amazing herbs that worked for some people, but they don't work for them because this life force is being so low that nothing can be productive in the organism. Those wonderful ingredients, they stay in the blood plasma and they're flushed out because there is no life force to take them and bring them to the cells to nourish. In this respect, awakening of your life force is the most crucial part of the healing process. Keeping the life force vigorous is the challenging part of the task, and that's what I'm working with every person, regardless if you have pain or you just have a chronic condition without feeling any pain, but it limits you in a way from your daily activities. In both cases, the restoration of the life force is extremely important. To crush a chronic condition or chronic pain, you need one thing that anything else, and this is your support. Those variables, the 6 variables in the beginning, at the end, I mentioned happiness, and this is the support that comes from your environment, from the people who support you. I call them the dream team. I have a dream and I have people around me who support me. They know about my dream. And when I'm down, because every journey has its ups and downs, these people are behind me and only telling me, keep going, you're on the right track, I support you. Just the moral support is enough, because 80% of the people fail to achieve their goals due to the lack of support. And this is not only when it comes to health, it is only when also when it comes to business and all initiations we do as people. We are social beings. We have to be together. We have to communicate. We have to have interaction, because our inner world is changing due to that interaction. And the more uplifting, positive, encouraging, and loving people we have around us, the better our final results of our journey towards our goal or dream. And I put this picture on the right with many fruits and vegetables. I just want to mention here that the variety of people, types of people who support us, is even more important, because they will see you from different angles. They will give you different advices, and some people will challenge you. And all this is very healthy for our growth and our healing from chronic condition and pain included. The system, the what and how to accomplish the best way possible to improve your health. This is important. Just wanting to heal my pain and just taking a pill here and there will never lead, I've never seen that, to a success. Because if the pill suppresses a few symptoms of your condition or your pain, that doesn't mean that the condition is not working inside of your body, and it does more damages. You just don't know it. You don't feel it. That's why a system that shows you clearly the stages of your healing, where we're going, what to expect, what we have to achieve at every step, and how to do that, this is more important than anything, with the support of your dream team. Or if you don't have a dream team, or you need more help, with the support of your wellness therapist. Another thing which is very important is consistency. Nobody ever healed instantly. No matter what people say to me, when I dig deeper, I find out that they've been on a path to healing for a very long time. It's just one day, all of a sudden, like an avalanche, things are changing and they healed. That doesn't mean that they healed overnight. Of you who would like to communicate with me and we work on their health condition, your health condition, your chronic pain, please call me. Eliminate a Chronic Health Condition is my Facebook group where I post stuff. But feel free to call me as well. This is my phone number. You can also text me or find me on Messenger, on Viber, on WhatsApp, even on Telegram. I have all these places where I can meet people. My gift for you, thank you very much for staying until now. My gift for you is 90-minute free roadmap call. And what we do to those at these calls, firstly, we will get really clear on where you would like to be in terms of your chronic condition and well-being in the next 4 to 6 months. How do you see that process? And what are your expectations? Do you have a plan for this process for the next 4 to 6 months? Then how are you currently feeling, and how are you managing your chronic condition, and some history of how did it happen. And the third, once I know where you want to go and how it is right now, then we can work out all the roadblocks that are getting in the way of slowing you down, so we can put an effective plan together. Of course, 90 minutes is not, it might look a lot, but it's not that much. I will give you the general ideas of a roadmap, how you can continue in order to fulfill your dreams or your goals. And remember that lost time is never found again. The more you wait, the more difficult it becomes to change a chronic condition. And sometimes the conditions develop such as they become irreversible. It is impossible to change them. Of course, we all believe in miracles. We want to believe in miracles. We want to It's great to believe that things can be fixed just like that, but if you wait too long, very often it's impossible to fix. Just the body has no life force that can work inside of you, and the body is so weakened that we can't do much to revive that life force. So lost time is never found again. And here are a few of my clients, my dear clients, the results I achieved with them. You can read that, pause for yourself. Michelle, on the right side, Michelle had a lot of problems. She had a lot of medications, and some of the medications really didn't work for her. They were causing her dizziness, very often nauseous. So I tailored some exercises and nutrition advices for her arthritis, and especially her breathing. She had a serious respiratory problems. She had to use inhaler, but a month, I think, after we worked with her, she started using it less and less often, and eventually she didn't have to use inhaler in months, as her breathing became really so much better. Linda, when I was in Montreal, I worked with her. She really didn't care to lose weight and stuff like that. For her, it was important to be taken off of medications, and she was starting a high blood pressure medication. The doctor also wanted to put her on thyroid medication. So I asked her to speak to her doctor and to give us a year. And in result, the thyroid medication never came because she lost 75 pounds, and the high blood pressure medication was removed because there was no danger anymore of high blood pressure. And she's today 7 years old. She was 60, about 60 something years old when I worked with her. Then this is Jane. Some clients are very guarded when it comes to their conditions, and they would like to, they feel safe taking pills. That was the case with Jane. So I tried to give her a different perspective slowly in her working out or her healthy living. I tried to do some more spiritual practices with her. So I encourage her to change her lifestyle a lot. And she believed in training, but don't come and mess up with my pills and my lifestyle. So I had to go around from training to get to her to those very important changes in her life, which are the lifestyle changes. And yes, she learned how important it is to eat figs. They're very nutritious. I wrote this memoir for people who are striving for the ultimate health. This is my book, Walking Next to Cancer. And I would say, very good acquaintance, friend maybe, Susan Dorothy Hannaford. She wrote a fantastic book called The Secret Music and the Ghost Garden. she understands very well how happiness is important, and how dishonesty is as much of a pathway to disease as any cellular change. She wrote those amazing books where she describes the life of people who are their mental changes since childhood, because they lived in an environment where there was no love, no happiness, no joy, a lot of judgment, a lot of bullying and stuff like that. In result, they went through a lot of pain, and they started walking in the wrong direction in life, and they got mental illness. So when I say happiness is important, I really mean it. And your relationship with people is part of your physical and mental health. And yes, please call me if you need me. You know where to find me. I don't really charge for emails and questions. I have this 90-minute roadmap call, which is entirely free, where I get to know the client, and maybe some people would like to be clients, others don't, which is all good. We have to decide on those calls if I can do something for you. If not, I will refer you, or you want to go on your own and just need me to check on you from time to time, or just give you guidances and etc. This is to be decided on the calls. Well, thank you very much for staying with me such a long time.